Welcome back, Emily. Well, last month, actually a couple weeks ago, we asked you to attend the NPI conference to help us out for Red Ice TV and do some interviews, and this is what happened.
So you need to take your ass back inside the building where you belong. Oh, she's a nut! I remember you from last night. Yeah, you motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here.
Is that the kind of attitude?
Yeah, for white nationalists, hell yeah. Oh, I didn't see that.
I just got sprayed. This is their reasoning.
Muslim immigrant camps are nice.
All right, so we talked about this right after it happened on our NPI live stream already. So tell us what happened after you went back home to Philly, after this footage got around, and of course after the Atlantic video of five guys making a salute at the conference was seen by 100 million people.
Well, the floodgates opened up. I got back, and that night this guy messaged me. His name was Will Bunch, and he's the author of the $2.99 ebook of The Burn Identity, a Kindle single. And he said, and he's a reporter for Philly Mag, and he asked me if I would talk to him. He's writing an article up on the White Nationalist Conference, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Because you scroll through his Twitter, just classic lib shit stuff. So I was like, well, he's going to write the article anyway. I got to say something. I got to say my piece. And I think the article came out pretty good. It wasn't too demonizing. I was just saying, I want to stand up for white America, the backbone of this country. The baseball fans are all white Americans, basically, in the Phillies. But, he linked it to my job, Pistachio Girl, because I'm a well-known cult of personality figure for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay, well, tell us what a Pistachio Girl is, so in case all the non-sports fans don't know what it is.
For those who don't know, I'm a beloved figure for going downstairs at baseball stadiums as a vendor selling snacks and beer. So I do my special call, pistachios, and peanuts and stuff. And you can hear me on Comcast. You can hear me through the TVs. Everyone comes to the game. They're like, I heard you on TV last night. Like, old women come up to me crying. They're like, it's you. I hear you every night on the TV. And they crying of joy.
Well, so your job, it doesn't matter what your political views are in your job. You're selling nuts, right? So
you would think so. You would think so. The baseball players love me. They all wave to me, and I was like a god there. I own that stadium. So anyway, they tied it to that. I'm like, here we go. And before Will Bunch closed out with the interview, I said, this is, what this is going to do. This is going to get me fired, right?
And he's like, yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do, right?
Yeah, I'm like, you don't have to do this. And he said, yeah, I kind of do.
Oh, what a jerk. Well, you didn't have to talk to him so on some level you knew that this was going to happen, and you kind of didn't mind it.
Oh, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was all coming. I was prepared. I've been prepared for a couple months now. It's like, waking up in the morning like, when's this all going to blow up on me? But, it's sad because this guy is like an older gentleman. He gets a salary. He writes for the New York Times. I won't call him a gentleman. He's a big bunch of crap. With zero empathy, zero sensitivity, and no compassion in his heart for you because you're a white supremacist. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ruin this girl's life, yeah.
So your employer, did they see this article that he wrote that came out? What happened?
Well, once that article came out, they all started coming out. So we got one on Philly Voice, and MLB.com wrote an article. The Citizens Bank Park Pistachio Girl is a white nationalist. And and isn't that great? The MLB.com, we got them discussing it. And a lot of the comments, I'd say half of all these are people defending me. And people, like other white people being like, hey, why can't I be proud to be white? Everyone else can. I'm tired of this. I think they're waiting for someone to say it.
Exactly. It's not like you're like, buy pistachios and white power, It's like,
well, now I am. Because pistachios are Iranian. And Iranian, that they're Aryans.
Yeah, I like pistachios. Right? They're good. So what exactly did your employer say? They called you up. What did they say to you?
They called me about a week and a day after. I was just waiting for the phone call. They left a message. They were like, "Hey, Emily, call me back. This is Brian Hastings. I'll say his name. I don't care. From Aramark." And by the way, Aramark is known for hiring ex-cons and felons. That's who they hire. You know, I would have had a better chance staying employed had I just stabbed somebody.
God.
Yeah. So I called them back. They put this girl on the line. They said, we're going to have to terminate you because your social media doesn't reflect our values. So I said, can I get a quote? Because I just wanted to hear her say one little tweet of mine. That would have been gratifying. She's like, no quotes, nothing specific. Just your social media doesn't reflect our values.
Well, that's bullshit. Of course you have to press them on the issue, explain in more detail. I mean, that wouldn't hold up in a court of law. You have to prove it.
Yeah, give me a proof. I mean, I've said plenty of things, but I've never advocated for violence, and I've never used any sort of racial slurs or anything like that. I think the worst thing I retweeted David Duke because he was talking favorably about me doing the work there, and maybe that was it.
So how long did this conversation last? I mean, did you press her anymore, or what happened?
I just kept asking. I kind of wanted to go off and be like, what values do you mean? Those of ex-cons and felons and hiring at the bottom of the barrels from the deepest parts of the hood. They wouldn't say anything. So I was just like, okay then. Click.
Okay, so really, I think that you have a case here. So are you going to find a civil rights attorney to pursue a discrimination case?
Do you think it would be discrimination?
Yes.
You think so? Because supposedly they can. It's like in the contract. If the social media doesn't work right, then then they can fire you.
Well, I guess you'd have to have an attorney look at the contract and actually see what it says and see if you can argue it or not.
Yeah, some part of me just pictures myself taking it all the way to the court, and getting filmed and everything, and just walking in and hiling while I enter the courtroom. I mean, I have nothing left to lose now. That's the beautiful thing, is that's the last thing they can take from me. Yeah. So now I can just fash out full time. I don't have to wake up in the morning with the knot in my stomach. And to be honest, I've been doing that job for 7 years. I did love the being in the spotlight and the masses and everything, but I was getting a little old for that, and I wanted to make the leap into full-time animation anyway, which is what I do best. So,
well, really think of if we found, or you found, a civil rights attorney. I think that's good. We need to start making a point. A lot of them, you don't have to pay them. They do it for a cut of the settlement.
Oh, yeah?
I think there would be a lot of attorneys who would kind of like the buzz around this, the publicity. It is time to fight back loudly and show that actually we aren't equal under the law. And it would be great if an attorney did take this case on and say, okay, well, let's hash it out in court. What do you mean by hate? Right? And then start showing some of the double standards. So that's not hate, but this is hate. See where I'm going here?
Exactly. Yeah. And we can, and if any of you lawyers out there, or any of you are interested in this case, come find me, because we'll take it all the way to the top. And it's funny because there was a Jewish activist group, a Jewish rights group, a Jewish interest group, protesting. I was like, hurry, somebody find these Jews employers and let them know they're standing up for themselves. And it's of course, crickets,
Well, I think you should. I think you should find an attorney, and we can film the whole thing and watch the whole process. I think it would be really good for, it would be a positive event. We could use it actually to bring in the normies and bring attention to the real issue. So I would definitely encourage you. And if there is an attorney listening who specializes in civil rights, I think we know a couple actually. Oh yeah, it might actually be a good fit who can.
That would be great. Oh man, it would be a sensational media story because it's already blown up anywhere. And think about it, if we win, I'm gonna get some real fuck you money then, and it's all gonna go back to the cause. And once we win once, they're not gonna try this shit anymore.
Exactly, that's the thing. No one ever tries it. White people never try this stuff. You've discriminated against me because I'm European or because of my political views. So someone's got to take the first hit here and try this out.
All right, let's do it. I got nothing else to lose. Only way to go is up, baby.
So on a positive note, you're going to be able to do more for Red Ice TV now, and of course your animation work. So I think that you'll be terrific, and I think that in the end, it's a good thing. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I agree. I'm always good at making the light out of a situation. It's a big relief, and like I said, it's the last thing they can take from me. I can devote myself full time to the cause. So I guess God willed it.
All right. So if people want to send you a donation to help you out, so you can do some more animation work, how can they do it?
Well, for single donations, you can use my PayPal. That's alfredalfer77@gmail.com. Or if you want to do the Patreon, I was doing it per cartoon, which is like per 10 months. But since I'm going to be producing a lot more now, I'm probably going to switch it to monthly. So that's patreon.com/Emily Youcis.
All right, Emily. Well, thank you. And people will be seeing a lot more of you soon. So
oh, they will.
Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your donation and Red Ice membership, we're able to produce live streams such as this one. Help support independent, pro-European media. We're fighting for a prosperous future for European people across the globe. Please go to paypal.me/redice and make a contribution. We appreciate all your support. Get your Red Ice t-shirt today, made by Lanus Llama, sewn in the USA using 100% organic cotton fabric. Available for both men and women in many sizes. Support what we do and enjoy a soft organic t-shirt made without the harsh chemicals. Go to redice.tv/store.